Hey friends, how are you doing? I hope you are doing good. How many of you know that your email address can be hacked using multiple ways? So today I would like to discuss couple of methods to secure yourself from such methods, but don't try these methods to know how this method works, okay? Don't even try to know how those methods works. Okay, the first method is phishing attack. The phishing attack means hacker or a attacker, goes to an original website and he takes out the HTML source and JavaScript from that website, and he makes the fake websites which looks like original website, and he sends the link to you. So once if you open that link and if you enter your username and password, your username and password can be read by the hacker and later he can use it. Okay. So how do you protect yourself from such attacks? So to protect you from such attacks, whenever you get any link to log in, don't click on that link to log in. If you know that website name, go to the web address bar and enter the website name, and you can go to the login page from there. Then you can log in. Okay? Using this way, you can protect yourself from phishing attacks. The next method, brute forcing attack. People use brute force to get attack to guess the password. Here it what is brute forcing means, the hacker enters the dictionary of the words to guess the victim password. Victim means the some of the trusted user or website user. Okay, use some tools like Brutus tool to guess the password, but it's a time consuming process and it has to generate lots of words, but some websites are by default are secured against such brute forcing methods. Let's say some website uses captcha feature to protect from brute forcing, and some websites locks the user account if someone entered the wrong password for more than 3 attempts. That's good. So whenever your account gets logged out, you must think that someone entered the wrong password for more than 3 to 5 times for your account. You can request the website like from which IP address you got the invalid attempt request kind of thing to trace the person. Some website owners will help you for that. Okay, the third attempt is security questions. Most of the people enable the security questions because if once they forget their password, they can use this security questions feature to recover the password, right? But most of the answers for the security questions can be found from the social media. Let's say that you have an account in Facebook and there is a security question like who is your favorite cricket player or football player. So in Facebook, you will be under album, you will be having his photograph, or else you will like his photographs, or else you will share his YouTube videos, or else you will follow him, or else like you can add into the favorites in the Facebook, all these things. So people can easily figure out like what is your city of birth, that can be found on Facebook. What is your year of birth? Some people are so stupid, they create account in such a way that Uday underscore Datrak underscore 1989. And if the security question is for that email address, there is let's say for that email address like Uday underscore Datrak underscore 1989, if there is a security question what is the year of birth, that we can get it from the email address itself, right? 1989. So security questions are weak. Gmail removed the security questions feature. The fourth attempt, the fourth method, sorry. The fourth method, what is it? Sniffing. Sniffing means a hacker in your LAN. You have to know the bit of networking concepts to understand this, otherwise you just ignore it. So a hacker in your LAN can read what all your requests you are sending it to the server and what all responses you are getting it. Okay, so to protect from these things, make sure that you are visiting only HTTPS websites, uh, or else you are providing username and password to the HTTPS websites, right? The HTTPS means your request will be encrypted, request and responses will be encrypted. Then the other method is the fifth method is keyloggers. So what happens? Attacker will install the keylogger in CyberCaves, or else he will send you a link. If you click on that link, these keyloggers will be installed automatically on your system. There are such features are available. in market. So what is a keylogger? Keylogger means whatever keys you are typing on the keyboard, that will be stored in the text file and it will be sent to the hacker via email or FTP or HTTP or even by SMS. It's all about hackers wish, how they want to get it. Okay. So make sure that you have antivirus installed in your system and never log in using cybercaves, logging into Sense using CyberCares. So I hope you understood all these five methods and you protect yourself from these methods. These methods are very interesting to practice, but don't do it. It's a, like, let's say you wanted to understand about keylogger, but once if you download the keylogger, it might steal your information too. So make sure you protect yourself from all such attacks. Never hack anyone's email account or something, you will get nothing. It might look interesting to hack friend's account, but if they lodge a complaint against you, you will end up in a jail and you have to face lot of legal actions. Okay. Secure yourself, don't misuse this stuff. Thank you.